I'd like to thank y'all again for coming out. Today's speech is a persuasive speech on organ donation.
Keep going, sorry.
I'm here to persuade you to understand the types of organ donation and how important they are in North Carolina. Organ donation is something I strongly believe in, and after I inform you on how important it is in North Carolina alone, I hope that you will have the urge to learn more about organ donation if you're not already a donor. According to the North Carolina Donor Services, by the end of my speech, another name will be added to the organ transplant list, and by the end of this day, 16 people will die while waiting for a transplant. In the audience today of just 10 people, I have family members who have experienced the longer life that organ donation can bring to its recipients. Also in the audience today are those that made the courageous decision to be tested to see if they were a donor match for a loved one in need. As well as in the audience, I've also had family members who have lost loved ones that passed away while awaiting a transplant that never came. I'd like to tell you more about how to become a donor and what being a donor really means. As you can see on my visual aid, becoming a donor in North Carolina is an easy process. There are just 3 simple steps. The first step would be to let the DMV know of your decision to be an organ donor, and a red heart will be placed on your driver's license. You can also register online at www.donatelifenc.org. This will ensure that your wishes are documented even if your license is not in your possession at the time of your death. Also, be sure you have told all of your family members about your wishes. Doing just these 3 things will ensure that your organs will be donated if a match is found on the North Carolina transplant list. Also, with parental consent, children 13 and older can sign up to become organ donors. Many people only view organ donation as something that happens after the death of a loved one, but it is actually way much more than that. The Donate Life America website states a living donor can give a kidney, portion of liver, lungs, and pancreas. An example of a living donation recently made headlines in North Carolina when a baseball coach at Wake Forest University donated a kidney to one of his freshman players. WRL Sports reports that the player was diagnosed with a disease that causes blood and proteins to leak into the urine, eventually leading to kidney failure. After family members were tested and no one was a match for a kidney transplant, Coach Tom Walker was tested and was a perfect match. Since the transplant, both player and coach are recovering and plan to be back on a baseball field by summer. Becoming an organ donor is a personal decision that may seem a little scary at first, and one may face many questions or differing of opinions when they inform family and friends of their decision. It is important to arm yourself with all the facts when talking to others, as I am doing today. LifeShare of the North Carolina's website outlines many misconceptions about organ donation. It is not just young people who become donors. Newborns to senior citizens have been successful matches. Organ donation costs are covered by the hospital and do not delay in funeral plans or having an open casket. Although most people think of donation of just the heart or organs, but as you can see by my chart, there are 6 organs that can be donated along with skin, tendons, bone, bone marrow, and even corneas. The truth is in the numbers for organ donations in our state, and sadly the numbers are high for those who pass away while waiting for a transplant. Of the 23,956 patients who received transplants in 2010, 898 of those were in North Carolina. Sadly, 143 of our fellow North Carolinians died in 2010 while waiting for a transplant. However, North Carolina is making a great progress in the number of organ donors registered, thanks to those working hard to spread the word about unselfishly giving the gift of life. Excuse me, I got tongue twisted there. 4.1 million people in North Carolina have a heart on their license or ID, making North Carolina's organ donation registry the 6th largest in the country. I hope that my speech today will get you interested in becoming an organ donor. One organ donor has the potential to help up to 50 people in need, which is tremendous. By learning the facts instead of the myths about donation, we can get the conversation going with family and friends. Spreading the word will only help to increase the number of donors and in turn better yours and mine chance of receiving this life gift if we should ever need it. I'm going to refer back to my visual aid here. As you can see, patients who received transplants in 2010 in the U.S. were 23,956. Of those, 898 were in North Carolina. Those who died while awaiting transplants in 2010 were 5,211 in the U.S., while 143 of those were in North Carolina. Excuse me, I got a bad angle here. Like I said, this goes over the 3 easy ways that you can become a donor. You can go to the website here and learn more. Excuse me. The various gifts here: eyes, cornea, lungs, heart, liver, kidneys, pancreas, fascia, skin, cartilage, tendons, bone marrow, and even small intestine. That is just a lot. Okay, down here we have the patient waiting list of 2011 as of January 28th. Those needing a kidney in the U.S. were 87,696. Those in North Carolina were 2,868. And the list goes on and on. And those waiting for a lung in the U.S. were 1,786. Of that number, 24 are here in North Carolina. And you total everything up there, over 110,000 patients in the U.S. are on the waiting list. Of those in North Carolina, 3,403 are here in North Carolina.